the slip of the tongue referred to GOtv as the majority whip. At times I am referred to as a minority leader, majority whip. Any name is a name, provided we do what we are here to do. And Honorable Pio will tell you, in the last parliament, when we were with him here, the majority side that was Jubilee became the minority and had to depend on the minority side in its own government to pretend to be the majority. The leader of majority then, Honorable Kimunya, the last 2 years, was the leader of the majority, but was actually a leader of the minority from the majority side. Because the Honorable Aden Duale, who was a ranking member like the Honorable John Buddy, was the leader of the majority on the majority side. But moving on, Honorable Speaker, I was thanking the Honorable Pio for raising this issue because it's important that we all get to an understanding not just of the import of this letter, but the import of all the proposed amendments that we will do to the finance bill, Honorable Speaker. And it's good that when you are responding to Bonyikal, you did point out some of those issues. And principally, Honorable Speaker, the last point that I added, that this being a money bill, we must get the concurrence of the National Treasury. And there is reason as to why the drafters of our Constitution, Article 114, put that particular provision of concurrence in the National Treasury. Honorable Speaker, if you read that letter, it points to provisions of the law as it is. Professor Ndungu, who assigned this letter, is not referring to anything that is outside of the law and the provisions of our Constitution. He refers to Section 39(4)(c) of the PFM Act, which requires that any increase in expenditure in a proposed appropriation is balanced by a reduction in expenditure in another proposed appropriation. Honorable Speaker, it goes on to quote Section 45 of the PFM Act and other sections of the PFM Act that indicate that if we are to reduce the proposed revenue estimates, Honorable Speaker, then concurrently, and I said it on Tuesday, something must give in. If we reduce taxes that are proposed to be the revenue-raising measures to finance the budget that we have adopted, then we must find a way of either reducing the expenditure side, because if you don't do so, what you will do is increase the fiscal deficit. It is this House, Honorable Speaker, and I was hoping the Honorable Juguna Ndungu had pointed to it, and I see he hadn't, that we passed a debt ceiling in this House. We cannot go beyond that which we have passed in this House. The National Treasury cannot borrow beyond a certain point. A ceiling that we have set by law in this House. And therefore, if you ask that let us reduce the revenues, but don't touch the expenditure side, what we are doing is simply telling the National Treasury increase the fiscal deficit against the law. And we cannot act against the law. I know we are the lawmakers, but we are not allowed by the Constitution to act ultra-vires the Constitution. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, what the Cabinet Secretary, it could be a preemptive. It could be preemptive that I want to agree with Honorable Pio. It is preempting debate. But the Honorable Juguna Ndungu is not engaging in debate. This is an advisory opinion to us, reminding us that we need to abide by the Constitution and our own laws. Honorable Speaker, the leader of minority spoke to the need, and he has asserted that the right thing. And he said it so emphatically we would want to believe him. That the right thing to do is to do a supplementary budget. That is the wrong thing to do. It is the wrong thing to do, Honorable Speaker. Because you cannot begin from a mistake and say now we will break the law at this particular stage. Then we will fix it with a supplementary budget. Supplementary budget should only come in once we have in the first instance abound by what is provided for in the law. We have not burst our fiscal deficit as stipulated under our PFM Act. And if in the course of implementation of this budget, there are additional expenditures that then would lead to a busting of that fiscal deficit, then we call for supplementary budget. But we cannot say that at this point what we should be doing is a supplementary budget. What shall we be supplementing if we are even yet to pass the appropriations bill? We need to pass the appropriations bill and the finance bill so that we complete the budget making cycle. Once you complete the budget making cycle, then after that you can do a supplementary budget. But we cannot complete a budget making cycle against the law. And that is what Honorable Pio is telling us that we should do. It is my humble submission, Honorable Speaker, then that this letter is in good standing, and this is the way it is. I saw a number of votes, Honorable Speaker, and I said on Honorable Speaker when this report was tabled, that someone once quipped that choices have consequences. And in lawmaking, the same is true. If we choose to cut on our revenue-raising measures, as the Finance Committee has proposed, there will definitely be consequences. Honorable Speaker, I am fortunate to have been in this House in the last Parliament. The Honorable Andai who has raised this issue, and the Honorable Junet were in this House in 2018. In 2018, Honorable Speaker. You remember the contentious Uhuru second finance bill. It was equally contentious. And you remember the debate that was there then about fuel. From 16%, 8%, from 0%. And when we did the revenue-raising measures bill in the finance bill, consequently, we had to adjust the expenditure side. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, it is not the first time it is happening, and it is not the last time. Therefore, if our JSS teachers, who we appropriated resources to hire, if there isn't adequate resources to hire JSS teachers, then something has to give in. If there is a road in Ugunja constituency that was to be tarmacked, and the resources are not enough, I mean, or in Kikuyu constituency for that matter, then we just have to do away with them, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, I just want to ask the Honorable Pio to hold his horses. In actual fact, what we are doing now is anticipating debate, Honorable Speaker. We are the ones who are anticipating debate because we are yet to complete the finance bill, because at the conclusion of the finance bill, it is only at that point we will be able to tell the net effect of all the changes that have been made and decide whether then we need whatever quantum we need to adjust on the expenditure side. Honorable Speaker, let me just conclude by saying we cannot and we shall not have our cake and eat it at the same time. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order, honorable members. This issue is very straightforward. But for purposes of record, I'll give you a direction at 2:30. Meanwhile, we proceed with debate. It has absolutely no impact on the debate going on. I will give you a direction at 2:30. Order, Honorable Wandai. You have so ably prosecuted your case, and the majority leader has responded. Budget Chairman, I will in fact pass on these letters to you. So I'm not opening debate on this. Call out the next order. Order, honorable members. Order. When I came to the chamber, I had seen this letter. And I had also my own feelings about it. I'll give you direction at 2:30. I don't have to consume parliamentary time debating something that is very clear in my mind. My thoughts are very rich, Junet. Have you called us? Order, honorable members, order. Back to the finance bill. We have 120 requests. With 120 requests, at 5 minutes, we need about 9 to 10 hours. Can I ask the majority and minority leader to approach the chair? The majority and minority leader approach the chair. Order, honorable members. Order. Wangela, take your seat. Order. Badi, take your seat. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, I want us to proceed as follows. We have Honorable Zambia, who has 3.5 minutes to go. I've told you how many of you have keyed in. At 7 a.m. this morning, 50 members had already keyed in. That shows the intensity of interest in the bill. We will start the debate now up to 1. In the afternoon, I'll give you 1 hour from 2:30 to 3:30. We will not need Honorable Bukose to call for the mover to reply. The mover will be called by the speaker to reply at 3:30, whereafter we shall go to vote. I've consulted with your leadership on whether we should go on with 5 minutes and cut off at the hours we have agreed, or allow more members to contribute by truncating the time to 3 minutes. If you agree to 3 minutes, we can truncate the time to 3 minutes so that more members can speak. Is that all right with the House? I put the question that the time for contribution be reduced from 5 minutes to 3 minutes. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. Secondly, honorable members, I encourage you to desist from raising frivolous points of order, because some members have been raising points of order that are completely far from points of order. Yes. So, in Zambia, you finish your 3.5 minutes. The next members I call, you'll be taking 3 minutes. Members, you also keyed in very early, but sometimes the chair may not necessarily follow the list because you find like you have 10 members in a row from one side. We have to balance the House. So we will be jumping and zigzagging in the list to make sure there's some balanced representation on the floor. Zambia, go on.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, we have a responsibility as a House to protect the interests of our Kenyan citizens. Honorable Speaker, I totally oppose this finance bill. Reasons being that, Honorable Speaker, we understand that the motor vehicle tax, edible oil tax, among others, have been deleted. But, Honorable Speaker, there are so many hidden taxes. Honorable Speaker, when you talk of 7 shillings per liter in fuel levy, it means that the cost of production in the local industries will go up. Honorable Speaker, even the cost of producing bread will be higher than even the normal rate as at now. Honorable Speaker, our Kenyan citizens are struggling to put food on the table. Honorable Speaker, the cost of living is going to increase. The cry outside there of Akina Wanjiku and the others. Honorable Speaker, the life of the Kenyan citizen of running businesses is totally unbearable as we speak now. Honorable Speaker, when it comes to the local industries, they are closing down their businesses. Reason being that the cost of production is going high and high every time. And Honorable Speaker, we have come to understand that most of the industries are closing down, making it not possible to keep on employing more of the Kenyan citizens. And Honorable Speaker, when we talk of the NDF, there are so many hidden costs which the Kenyan, as a house, we should come out clear to make sure that the cost of living of the Kenyan citizens is bearable. Thank you, Honorable Chair, Speaker, and as the government, when you talk of the hustlers, the borders, the mamambokas, it is very clear that the things are getting worse and out of hand. Honorable Speaker, I urge this government to reconsider getting a better finance bill to move the Kenyan citizens forward. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member for Mandera West. Member for Mandera West. Order, honorable members. Order. The conversations are too loud. Order. Cynthia Muge, take your seat. You've been standing there for 10 minutes. Honorable members, those who want to engage in conversations, there's a lobby out there. You can go and converse and come back. Give me time to hear what members are saying, and give those who want to listen to debate. Member for Mandera West. Give him a functioning mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this chance to contribute to this very important bill that is in front of us. Mr. Speaker, sir, finance bill is an annual event. It has been done from the time Kenya was born up to this time. I personally, I think this is the seventh one I am contributing or participating in. And therefore, we all know that without finance bill, there will be no government activity. If you don't pass finance bill and allow the government to continue with its activity, there will be no government activities. And we all know that the government is there for the interest of the community, the larger community. I take this opportunity to sincerely thank the Finance Committee for listening, for doing a very thorough public participation all over the country, and for listening to the various issues that has been raised by the public, and for particularly saying that the contentious issues such as the bread, the VAT on bread, motor vehicle, the eco levy on sanitary pads and diapers, the excise duties on vegetable oil and others, which were contentious, they have already recommended that it be dropped. And therefore, it is for this House to concur with the recommendation of the Finance Committee to drop those very contentious issues. I have been called by my constituents so much, but as I explained to them what has been dropped, and particularly the finance bill is looking at putting 1 billion shilling for restocking. As you all know that the area where I represent and others had a serious drought for 4 years, and we lost almost all our livestock, and we don't have any other livelihood except rearing of livestock. And this finance bill is giving us 1 billion to restock. That is a very big gain, and my constituents have told me that make sure that 1 billion is protected. Honorable Speaker, sir, there are very important gains in this finance bill, particularly.
Your time up, Irene Mayaka. You have 3 minutes, so compose your thoughts and compress them quickly.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I take this opportunity to emphatically reject the finance bill. And Honorable Speaker, one of the things that I just want to say and make very clear is that we should not subject ourselves to the pressures that are being implemented by the IMF on funding conditions that they're giving to this country. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Gen Z and the people of Kenya because they exercise their rights under Article 1 and 2 of the Constitution, together with Article 37 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, in my quest to reject the finance bill, one of the things that I just want to say very clearly, I keep hearing members telling us that we need to start using locally manufactured sanitary towels, and especially to our male members. I just want to tell you, stop taking Panadols for our headache. Locally manufactured sanitary pads are not of good quality. You cannot expect young girls out there to use pads that will make them have infections and such like things. Honorable Speaker, some of the clauses that I really want us to look into and come and also reject is, for example, clause number 63 that talks about KRA having access to our information. Clause number 23 that talks about amateur sporting association being added additional tax. Honorable Speaker, some of the repercussions that we will have as a country if we continue with this finance bill is that we are making our investment climate to become a very unpredictable one. We will make our country not be and have appetite for investments from foreign investors and local investors.
that are locally manufactured causes infection, Honorable Speaker. Is she also in order to insinuate that while understanding, Honorable Speaker, that she's also locally manufactured, so is she also not substandard? Honorable Speaker, she must be able to give accurate information to the Kenyans. Locally manufactured goods, locally manufactured things are of high value, including herself, Honorable Speaker. She is locally manufactured, unless she is confirming that she is substandard. She should substitute, Honorable Speaker.
Irene, wind up.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As I wind up, I just want, unless I am not aware, what I know is that the Honorable Member does not use pads. I am the one who uses pads, so I know the feeling, and most Kenyans know the feeling who use pads. So unless you use pads, please tell me otherwise. As I wind up, I just want to say this. Please, to the government of Kenya, you have already taken away the happiness of some of the tax members who take alcohol by increasing their tax. I want to urge you, please, kindly, do not again come and tax the only happiness that Kenyans are remaining with, adults who pay taxes, which is their orgasms. I thank you.
Abraham Kirwa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I stand here, Mr. Speaker, to support this bill as amended. Mr. Speaker, there is no country or nation that will be able to stand without a budget. And there is no budget that can be able to stand without
and have
revenue resources.
from foreign
And so,
investors
Mr. Speaker, there is so much that has been said about this particular finance bill. There is a lot of misconception about this finance bill. There is so much amendments that has been done, which is good. And so, Mr. Speaker, one, I would like to urge the individuals who are our members who are really opposing this particular bill to reread the bill, because first, there is no way to reject a whole bill. There is no way we can actually do amendments, but to reject a financial a bill like this is not possible. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to actually support this bill for two reasons. One, it's supporting the farmers. Most of my constituents actually grow sugarcane and also tea and many other things. And on this bill, Mr. Speaker, it is supporting the constituents, the members of my constituency. Two, the issue of school. Most of the students, Mr. Speaker, those who are in JSS, no students, but the teachers who are in JSS, Mr. Speaker, will be absorbed because of the funding which is now coming through this financial bill. And three, Mr. Speaker, we are talking of the promoting the local manufacturing. In this bill, Mr. Speaker, we are truly promoting the local manufacturer so that it will create a lot of jobs. So, Mr. Speaker, I stand here to support this bill as amended, and I want to challenge and ask all the Kenyans who have not read the bill to read it, so that we are not using our Gen Z to just protest for the sake of protesting, but to support this bill because it is the right thing to do and it will help this nation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support the bill.
Rosa Buil.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for this opportunity. And the first thing I'd like to say is I want to congratulate all those young people who came out on the streets on their own volition because they are taking control of their lives. And I want to give this credit to one man in this country, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, because he's able to awaken the consciousness amongst Kenyans, and we can see the fruit of his efforts throughout his life. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to oppose this bill, and the reason why I'm opposing this bill is because this bill has taken the easiest way out to get finances to service the budget. The easiest way out is to tax Kenyans, regardless of how difficult life is for Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, Sabbath was made for man and not man for Sabbath. And therefore, the finance bill cannot kill Kenyans in the effort of Kenyans being taxed to supply money to service the budget. Mr. Speaker, I expected Treasury and the government to look inward and see exactly what they can do to reduce taxes or to reduce the amount required in the finance bill. Mr. Speaker, there's too much duplication in government. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the office of the Deputy President, you will find that he has functions that are already being done by other departments in government. Mr. Speaker, when you look at the budget, you find that the Deputy President has 450 million to have drug interventions, something that is already being carried out by NACADA. Mr. Speaker, he has another 250 million to give awards and medals to those people who have reformed from being drunkards to being Kenyan citizens. Mr. Speaker, that is a function that can be done away with. Mr. Speaker, if we are talking about raising funds, It doesn't matter how much funds we raise if we cannot be prudent in spending those funds. Mr. Speaker, you cannot tax Kenyans so that you spend a lot of money, almost 1.5 billion, in renovating state lodges and renovating offices of the Deputy President. You cannot tax Kenyans and even tax them on bread, a basic necessity, just so that you can give the Deputy President money to spend in buying cars for his office. Mr. Speaker, for that purpose, I say no on behalf of the Kisumu West constituency.
Thank you. Member for Limuru, John Kiragu. John Kiragu, give him the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. I stand here to support the finance bill. I would like to remind my people of Limuru who brought me to this house that during the economic forum, we did a presentation where we indicated that the people of Limuru used to be the largest manufacturers of footwear. But over the years, we have lost that position due to the importation of cheap footwear into this country. We did show that we can make safety boots or military boots, not by barter, but by small manufacturers. I stand here to support this bill because this bill is addressing that issue, that those products that come here fully assembled will be taxed in favor of the ones that we are making. Mr. Speaker, I would like the young people to know that unless we grow our industry, there will be no opportunities for good jobs. And for this finance bill, there is